Oh man, I'm going to Nashville in May. I gotta take a flight out there. Shout out to my boy Jacob Tucker. He's getting
Oh
married.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Oh, he's getting married. Let's
He's getting
go.
married.
Nice, Jacob Tucker, friend of the show.
Yes, sir. He
show.
asked me to be in the wedding a few weeks back, so
Beautiful.
I'm definitely gonna take that flight down to Nashville. So if
Yeah.
you're trying to catch that with me, bro, let me know something.
I might pull up, deadass. Oh,
Cause I gotta go there twice in the month of May.
Twice.
Yeah, so I have to go to the bachelor party.
bro, that is an
and then I have to
expensive.
go-
You know, it's actually so expensive to fly to Nashville. Have you guys ever looked to look
Bro,
at tickets?
flying anywhere is like
It's stupid
crazy
right
right
now,
now.
bro.
It's oh my god.
But
it's
you gotta make,
ridiculous.
you gotta do those
gotta do
types
what
of
you
things.
gotta
Hey,
No, you gotta do what you
as
gotta
my
do.
boy says, you gotta pay to play.
You feel me?
You gotta pay to play.
You feel me? Come on now. That's it.
Damn.
Speaking of paying, are they gonna pay Lamar? Because they got
No.
they got that new offensive coordinator. Are they gonna pay Lamar?
What they say they're gonna franchise tag him, right?
I mean, if you're getting that offensive coordinator, you know what I'm saying? Like
Who
you're
do,
not just
who
doing it
was
for
their
a year.
OC? Who did they bring in?
Bro, it's some guy who does some air raid offense. I'm blanking on the name, but
What are you talking about for the Pats?
No, the Ravens.
No, the Ravens. I'm talking about Lamar Jackson.
Because they were talking about
Oh, Lamar Jackson.
they
Oh,
wanted Eric Bieniemy from the Chiefs.
But he's not going nowhere. They've been trying to get
No.
Eric out of there for about 4 years.
What
now.
here's what I didn't understand is like I saw that like the two most likely landing spots for Bieniemy was Ravens OC and Washington OC, and I'm like, why would you go from being the OC on one of the best offenses in the league, winning Super Bowls, to an OC in another team like that? Like, don't settle for anything less than a head coaching job like that.
But the league must have some dirt on him. The league must have some dirt on Eric because they just been blackballing that dude for no reason. It seems like it must be something internal that he's done, or he's just like, I'm in the best possible situation where I'll go entertain these other guys, see what they're saying. But if it's not a head coaching job, I'm not even gonna go
That's what I'm saying.
entertain
Yeah.
it for real. But to be an offensive coordinator in Washington,
I mean, you stay in
no.
Kansas City for a few more years, you could wind up the head coaching job of the Chiefs, and you get Patrick Mahomes for another 10 years.
That makes the most sense, especially
right?
in that division.
Yeah.
In that conference, I should say right now.
That's what I would do. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if you guys heard some of the post-game interviews with Andy Reid, but he might look old and out of shape, but he feels young. And he said he has no anticipation of leaving. As long as they'll have him, he has no anticipation of leaving. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was looking elsewhere because of that.
Hey, maybe. But I'm just saying, I don't blame him for going elsewhere, but if you go elsewhere, don't take an OC job.
No,
Like, you know what
it
I
has to
mean?
be head coach.
You got to be
or
a head
nothing.
coach, yeah.
Yeah, it has to be head coach or nothing. But for the reasons why
Right.
he hasn't been picked yet.
Especially like Rivera's still a youngish dude. Like Harbaugh's a youngish dude. Like they're not going anywhere. I
No,
don't think.
not
So
anytime
it's like,
soon.
what- yeah.
not anytime soon. So
Yeah.
I'm very.
I mean-
curious. Yeah.
At least go for a team where the owner isn't potentially selling the product. selling, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how about you guys have some decent? Go to a team that's decent management that you can work your way down from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't hate that. I mean, well, Gordon, let's ask you. I mean, obviously, all right, we just came off the Super Bowl, right?
Big one. Big
Steve and I were talking a little bit before you got on. Your Eagles, man, you called them in the preseason. You rolled them all year. You were hard on them in the playoffs.
one.
Tell us what happened, because I think we both shared that sentiment with you up until like game
did.
time, which until I switched. I did make a last second switch, but up until game time, I thought it was the Eagles game, and I'm sure you did too. So what are you thinking?
So I have been pretty dead set Eagles the entire time, and I said the only way that this was going to change or the Eagles were going to lose is if Patrick Mahomes has an unreal day and Andy Reid outcoaches the shit out of the Eagles, which is not even like, it's not even far fetched to like think of that. You know what I'm saying? Andy Reid is an experienced coach in that experience and in this kind of game time, but versus the Eagles coach who, was this his first time as a head coach? Was his first time as a head coach in the Super Bowl?
First year, right?
Yeah.
Oh, his first year as a coach, period, isn't it?
Right. Yeah.
Really? Oh well.
I think
So
so.
I mean, that just goes down to it. I mean, no, he actually didn't he used to
No,
coach under Andy Reid.
he did. But I'm saying this is his first head coaching gig.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's
what
just
Yeah.
yeah, his first head
it
coaching
all
gig.
comes down to experiences and trying to figure out when you need to make game time decision changes, when you need to make corrections in the first and second half. And it's obviously Andy knew what he needed to do. And as soon as I saw them do the ring around the rosy play on the end zone, I'm like, damn, Andy Reid no longer is taking this game seriously. He already has a game plan for the rest of the game. It was like a third quarter he did that play. I don't know. That's beside the point. My main thing is I'm saying is it really at the end of the day was going to be experience that made the decision, made the difference, and that's what happened. Andy Reid outplayed the shit out of the Eagles, and they ended up winning. Sucks, and my buddy lost my buddy lost $3,000 on that shit. I was gonna put money on it, but I'm like, nah, I'm too, I'm too risk adverse to do it. But you know how it is.
But how did they not pressure him once, having one leg? You know, like
I
that's what they
mean,
were known for.
Yeah.
All year, all season.
That
long.
Chiefs O-line showed out.
Relentless
Oh my
defense.
God.
That's all you see. And Hassan Riddick, this and that. They got Sue, and he's actually being productive, being a sub or a secondary player. And nobody came to play. They didn't rush him. They didn't sack him. They didn't pressure him once. All the other times that he went out and scrambled was because his offensive line made those adjustments, made those moves to get those players out the way. Hobbling down the field for 26 yards on one leg. Then before all that happened, before he started playing miraculously, he got hurt. And it looked like he was done. I mean, it looked like he was just out of there.
I was like, game over when I saw that.
I was like, these boys are gonna stomp the shit out of them. But then something clicked into me when I was watching at halftime. Shout out to Riri, that shit was amazing. Fuck you, ASAP Rocky. But
back to the father of Riri's second child. I just wanted you guys to know that.
Damn it! Shut up. No, you're not. No, you're not.
I am on the pappy. I'm on the pappy.
She was looking fine. But anyway, and it goes back to what we were saying before too. How do you make not one adjustment? Not one adjustment at halftime. No matter if you're coaching pee-wee to high school to college, and I don't even care if it's a D3, you're going to make adjustments at halftime. No matter if you're up or if you're down or it's a tie motherfucking game. The name of the game is making adjustments. You have to. That's the only way you're going to be successful in this league. They were up 14 at halftime. What was it, 21-7?
10, right? It was 10 because that's also what the Chiefs came back from against the 49ers, 10 points.
It was 10.
Yeah.
Still a double-digit lead.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, right?
Yep.
Still a double-digit lead. Now, how are you going to maintain that? How are you going to keep being aggressive? Yes, they kept going there for the fours, twos and ones? They were doing that rugby scrum. That shit was amazing. But it was just that hiccup that Jalen did. Letting that ball go to the ground, scoop and score. That
Twice.
was... Oh, yeah, twice.
Yeah.
But it was a second one that really sealed the deal, and you could tell and feel the whole momentum shifting over to the Chiefs.
Yep.
And that's why I put it in my bet at halftime. I was like, some shit's gonna shake right here. I feel it. That plus 100 was staring me in the face, bro.
Yeah, honestly, it's making me feel so dumb because even though I did bet on the Chiefs at halftime, down 10, the Chiefs were plus 210. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's not enough value. And I didn't take it. I should have slammed that. I should have slammed it.
And the one parlay bet, that's what I'm known for primarily. The one parlay bet that I'm proud of that hit for this one, both teams to score on their first drive. Meaning the Chiefs had to score a touchdown, field goal, safety, whatever, get points. Same for the Eagles. Touchdowns first drive.
Beautiful.
I was set. That was a smooth 150.
Yeah, that's
that
nice.
Was a
right
smooth
there.
150
that's
right
nice.
there. So yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. And
No, I was just wanted to say because I don't know if you guys were talking about it earlier, but it was like overall, I thought the game was a good game. I didn't think it was a bad game to watch, but you can't seal the deal and end a game like that, man.
No,
From the refs. The big thing was it's like it's one thing if we go back to the Saints playoff game where they made the big hit and it was a no call deal. This was this is a light half potential penalty that sealed the game. Like, come on now, you're in the middle of the game when Ndamukong Suh took the guy's jersey and put it into his chin. First off, that happens almost every play to every single offensive lineman, and you got to fight through that shit. But they wanted to call a penalty on him. Like, they were calling all these aggressive penalties, which is fine. But it's come on now. Like, you're going to really seal the game and end the game because of a light touch. You know why? He was in his mind was just like, oh, you know what I can do? Maybe they'll get away from it. Because they think in their minds, like, as refs, it's not just about what's going on and what's not happening. It's about how we make this game better. You should have let that go. You got to let that go. You got to let him play. You think LeBron James is going to end the game on a touch? Come on now.
He did have a breakdown in Boston.
Right, but it was terrible.
He did have a breakdown in Boston.
Big old babyish breakdown.
I'm so happy that it happened in Boston.
I know. What better place for it?
Oh my God. They would not let him breathe for at least a week, I believe. It could have been longer, but from what I heard on the radio and everybody just around, the city.
God, yeah.
Oh, cry baby Braun.
It was a little bit of an over-the-top reaction. And I get it. You just played your heart out. Celtics, Lakers, it's an overtime game, but like...
Bro, you would have thought it was Game 7.
Oh, my God.
Of the finals.
Yeah.
You would have thought it was Game 7 of the finals, how he broke down.
Thought it was Game 7 of the finals, and somebody literally punched him in the face as he was shooting. Like
It was a game in January, bro.
Yeah. And look, if you're not a LeBron fan, it's things like that make you not a LeBron fan.
And that's why I keep saying Jordan, man. Jordan would have never.
Jordan never would have done that.
He would have
Never.
And he would have also never lost if he went to the finals. But we ain't even got to get to that. But he would never do anything like that in a regular season game.
Never. So, I mean, I don't know. The other night, I got to say, it is kind of cool seeing him play at this high of a level this late into his career. Like, seeing his kids, like, as, like, full-grown men on, like, the sideline. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that is kind of cool. Like, it would be like crazy seeing like LeBron out there in the court with his son. You know what I mean?
We're pretty much there.
Yeah. So what is it? Is his kid in college yet? Or is he a senior in high school?
I think he's a senior in high school.
No, he's a senior in high school.
Yeah, he's a senior in high school.
And the other one's a sophomore?
Yeah, he's not going to be able to play with Bryce. Yeah, he's not gonna.
Bryce is younger and he's taller than Bronny.
Yeah, he had that growth spurt last summer. That motherfucker shot up catching alley oops like it's his job, which is soon about to be. But he's definitely on the verge to play with Braun. He just has to Bronny, my fault. He just has to go through 1 year of college and it's up. Because dude already has NIL deals out the ass.
It's
clearly. I don't know what they are, but I already know that he's signed up for.
Look, is he committed anywhere yet?
Not that I heard of.
No,
not that I heard of. And plus,
that's gonna be the biggest bidding war.
If we heard it, bro, we all would have known. You know what I'm saying? It's not anywhere.
It's ESPN News. That's gonna be ESPN News. They're gonna have a 100%. Whole field day for his signing.
You saw what they did with him and Carmelo's son. Everybody was there. They shut the whole production down just to watch them. Just to watch people they used to watch in high school when they were playing, to watch their sons.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you know, like, you made it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's... But I wanted to ask you, did you see that video of him going for the scoring title and him asking his sons, should I go for it tonight? They were like, yeah, go do it. He's like, all right, I'm about to go get that shit.
No, I didn't see that.
That shit was the cool part about being a... You saw that, Gordon? That was the cool part about being the dad and, like, having your kids... like old enough and almost at that level to be right there with you. Like, we know who you are, we know what you can do, but you're just talking to us like we're real friends right now. You know what I'm saying? That's the real cool part. So I don't hate on LeBron for that.
No, because that was cool. Like the shot where he did it, the little step back, right? At the top of the key, you saw both of his sons, like where they were ready, they were waiting, they had it filmed, like they went crazy. Like, that was cool.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's a cool moment. It's nice that, like, you know, your kid's not in, like, diapers and isn't going to remember it. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
like,
exactly.
That was pretty cool. But, I mean, yeah, honestly, look, I'll never be able to hate on LeBron James as a basketball player.
No,
you know what I mean?
You
can as a competitor and as someone who roots for different teams. Like, I'll always be able to find reasons to hate LeBron, especially when he does that little freak out shit like he did the other night. But, I mean, as a basketball player, I'm always going to respect him and acknowledge him as one of the greatest. So
Because we know at the end of the day, if we had a chance to get him, we would want him to.
Yeah.
There's not any team that's ever going to say, no, we don't want him.
And you almost wonder, is he going to be like the Tom Brady? Like, because he hasn't shown any signs of slowing down.
I can see it. I mean, they drug test him for PEDs all the time, and he's been passing, so I can actually see it.
He's literally just built like a horse, like
he's
literally.
Just a freak of an athlete, man. So you got to recognize greatness when you're seeing it. And I'm so glad we got to see that the perfect time. We got to see LeBron James and Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
I'm trying to think. I don't think anybody who was playing quarterback while Jordan was in the league, like, I don't think it's the same weight.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Like, Jordan's probably Brady LeBron's probably the best era in terms of, like, watching the all-time grades.
Sports. Yeah, like, that's unheard of, man. That's amazing. So, and shout out to Tom. I'm glad he's back with his family. Well, not with his family. Gonna go see his kids a lot more because Giselle was giving that boy no love. She gave all the love to the dogs.
He's on his first third strap, bro. He's trying to find the next Giselle already, bro. You see that shit?
Yeah,
you see him?
Yeah, the picture. Yeah.
And then he tried to say he doesn't even know what a third strap is. I'm like, I'm gonna let you slide because you've been a dad and a football player for so long. But because you've been a football player so long, you should know exactly what a third strap is. So come on now.
Yeah.
Look, my thing is like, why is Tom Brady that dude like that always needs? You know how there's some people, guys and girls, they just always need to be in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like some people just like they'll be with someone for like 3 years, they'll break up, and like a week later they'll start their next 3-year relationship. You know what I mean? Like, is Tom Brady like just that dude who needs to be in a relationship? Because if I'm him, you just got out of a long-term relationship, like you're retiring, you're starting like the next chapter of your life. Like, why are you locking yourself down again? I don't get it. Take some time for you. Be single. You're one of the most eligible bachelors on the market.
Who's his name?
What's her name? Do you know her name, Gordon?
No, I'm not sure. I can look it up.
She's like this supermodel. She's good for sure, good looking, but like
for another supermodel.
Another supermodel, yeah. She's in her like early 20s. She's like blonde, blue hair. I don't know if she's like. I know she's Jewish. I don't know if she's like Israeli or it's like something like that. But like she's good looking. But like I just don't.
She is. Yeah, I'm not saying.
It's just like it's just like why are you jumping right back into something? It doesn't make sense.
Well, two things for me. It's like why, jump back into it, but why jump back into it with another model? There's so many more.
Maybe he's got a type.
He might have the type, but I guess everybody would have a type to be like, I want to be with the model.
Do you think do you think that's like the competitive side of him being like, oh, like Giselle's gonna replace me, I'm gonna replace you with like an up and coming like 24-year-old Victoria's Secret model?
That just looks lame, but hey, like
it might be.
Most of the motherfuckers are doing that. You see what Leo's doing. So that boy is so lost, but goddamn, can he act? That boy is so lost, but it's just I don't know. Like he should go out there like a soccer player or something like that. Another competitor. You know what I'm saying?
That'd
like,
be cool.
If you're gonna jump into a relationship, that's what I was gonna say. Jump into someone who's also an athlete.
I could see
or
that,
an athletic background or something like that. Just don't go back to the supermodel because now it looks lame. And then Giselle's like, oh, you're doing the same thing, but just a younger girl. This looks pathetic, Tom. You're taking these thirst traps. Like,
I mean, or just lay low for a bit. Lay low.
He's too much in the spotlight that they can't.
That man just made all that money to be on TV.
Yeah.
You think he's trying to right now? He's making more money in a 10-year TV contract than he did his entire football career. Are you kidding me?
I don't mean him lay low. I mean with the ladies lay low. Like just be in the like. Don't.
That's what I'm saying. There's no way you could. If they're gonna have eyes on you all the time.
I'll tell you how you could.
How can you?
Your only interactions is you up. That's okay.
I think they call that a side piece.
But that's what, like if I'm Tom, like I don't need to be like taking girls out for dates with the paparazzi. It's like no, like I'm Tom Brady. Give me a few months of just picking who I want on Instagram and being like, "What's up?" come through like that. Like chill for a little bit. Take some time. Play the field.
I want him to take time too.
Yeah.
But I think he's just that type.
I think he's that type. I think
I
he needs to
mean,
have somebody.
I think he just likes dates. Maybe guys, there's some guys out there that just like going to dinner and out on a nice date. I mean,
Oh,
if you
I
think
love
about
that,
it,
for
he
sure.
used to be the
I have no problem with
spokesman
it.
for Uggs. His whole thing was Uggs. Remember, he was Uggs this, Uggs that.
I do
Would
remember that.
not be surprised if he was a big date guy. The Ugg guy being a date guy, that makes sense.
Hey, look, I love a good date. I think a nice dinner, drinks, fantastic. I'm a big fan of the nice dinner date or whatever.
No, you don't when you're paying. No, you don't. No, you don't.
I'll just
Not when you're paying.
yeah. That's
Sheesh. Ocean Prime. Ugh. Ugh. Del Frisco's. Ugh.
Del Frisco's. Ooh. I got
Contessa.
speaking of steaks. I gotta say, shout out. It was Valentine's Day the other day. Alyssa, she goes. I was on my way home. She goes, I got a surprise for you. We were trying to figure out what we were doing for dinner.
Yeah.
She goes, hey, why don't we just stay in? Like, I'll grab some food. Like, you can grill. Like, we'll stay in tonight. We don't have to go out. I was like, perfect. She texts me back
She's
like
a
an hour
keeper.
later. Oh, she's great. She goes, I got a surprise for you. I go, okay. This girl bought me a tomahawk steak.
Oh my God.
This friggin' big, still got a 1.5 foot long bone in it. I mean, if I showed you guys the pictures, this was probably the most impressive steak I've ever seen in my life. Oh,
Hey, you know what? Shouts out to Alyssa. That's bone in, you said?
Shouts out to
Oh,
YP. Shouts out to YP.
man.
Bone,
Yes.
oh yeah, my God,
yes.
bone-in tomahawk. It was maybe like 4 inches thick.
Oh, my goodness.
The whole thing fed both of us, and there was still some left. Oh my God, it was the best steak I've ever had.
Where did she get it from?
I didn't even ask her.
Probably Omaha, like cuts or some shit.
Oh, where? I think it was from like Roach Brothers.
Really?
Or something like
Real
that.
local?
Yeah.
Rose Buzz up the road.
Yeah, that
I don't
sounds like,
even.
oh,
yeah,
shit.
I'm not really sure, but it was like you could tell it was like fresh. Like it was a good cut. Because sometimes you get those big cuts and it's like all fat and
Fatty,
bone. But
yeah.
no, this was a good piece of meat. Sorry, I'm just thinking we were talking about like Del Frisco's, and I'm thinking like those those
put me
nice ass
on.
steaks, right? And I'm
Yeah,
like,
man.
damn, like I had one of the best steaks I've ever had.
Oh,
the
I
other
got
night. It was
men's
beautiful.
league in an hour.
Hell
Y'all
yeah.
make me hungry as hell.
You're going to be all right, bro. You're going to be all right. You're going to make it. But hey, speaking of uncertainty and steaks, and a great place that has great steaks is New York City.
Yeah.
Do you see Aaron Rodgers becoming a Jet?
So, I think I said this on the podcast the last time before Tom Brady announced retirement. I thought Tom Brady should go be a Jet.
I remember you saying
Right.
that. I knew it wasn't going to happen. I kept telling you guys it's not happening.
Bottom line being that if it's not Tom Brady, let it be Aaron Rodgers, let it be Lamar Jackson, let it be somebody, because that is a great landing spot for a quarterback. Whoever gets
You
it.
see all the young talent he has around him?
The young
We're not
talent.
even talking about the offensive side. I'm talking about the
Defense.
side.
But let's talk about that offense.
Oh, we're gonna talk about the
Oh my
offense,
God,
but
that
it's like,
offense,
wow.
like the O line, the backfield, the weapons, like
Brees is coming, man.
Brees is scary,
Brees is
huh?
coming, bro.
I mean, you got a good coach. Like I think every general consensus
Yeah,
that Salah's a good
yeah.
coach. Like he's a good players coach.
I like Salah a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if you're a quarterback looking to relocate, man. Like I'm looking at the Jets.
You think it's so?
I'm looking at the Jets.
What about you, G? You think that's a great landing spot or okay or good landing spot for Rodgers?
I think it's a decent landing spot because you got to look at what they did last year as an organization. Yeah, they ended up last place in our division,
Right.
but they had so much potential, and because due to injury, they ended up falling off to the wayside. And obviously, a lot of QB uncertainty. I mean, Joe Flacco was their starting quarterback at one point. Think about that guy.
Yeah.
That guy's ancient. And when I was in college, he was winning a Super Bowl. But when it comes down to like quarterbacks and who will be able to come in,
Right.
I definitely think you need a little bit more of a mature guy to come in there. I don't think a guy on his way out like Aaron Rodgers would come in, somehow lead them into winning a Super Bowl and being done. I think they need someone that's a little bit more mature, but still has a little bit of time to continue to grow with the team. So I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard this, but this is kind of my hot take. I think Derek Carr going to the Jets would be a good move for them. Did I just steal your idea, Justin?
No,
You didn't steal mine because I thought you were
You
going
didn't-
the other
Yeah,
direction.
Tampa Bay.
No, man, I'm talking about the other great that's going to be a free agent, Jimmy G. I think the fucking Jets would be an amazing place for Jimmy
That'd be a
Garoppolo
good spot.
to go back and just take the lead by storm again,
Yeah.
which he did when they were so quick to just push him to the outlands, push him to the badlands. Damn, Jimmy, we need you now. Now you need Jimmy. Jimmy's performing. Jimmy gets hurt. Now your quarterback goes down in the first minute or two of the game, and y'all looking back at Jimmy. I'm hurt, man, and y'all still pushing me up.
Yo, in
And y'all have Trey Lance.
and Jimmy and Salah had that 49ers connection.
Do you see what I'm saying? That's exactly where I was going from with it. I thought you were going to be on the same page. Derek Carr is cool and all, but he's never been like that it guy for me. He's never college never really was that guy. Like, damn, I would want him on my team. Just seeing him play, I'm like, damn, bro, you have Devontae Adams and you're still fucking up like this? You have De'Aaron Waller right here and you're still fucking up like this?
See,
you have a pretty goddamn good offensive line in the Raiders. Run blocking and their pass blocking has been light years from what they were like about 10 years ago. So that goes into the drafting as well. And then they're going to put you in this, and this is what you do? They released you on your day off? No, I don't want him to see him playing or starting, actually. I'll see him play, but I don't want to see him starting for another team, even if it's for the Jets. I don't care. Like, that's not going to be a good situation. Because like we were just saying, they have too many good young players on that team where it's just going to go to the wayside. And then what are they going to do? Put in Zach Wilson again? And we got to see that shit show? You think he matured in these 9 months? You really think he's matured in these 9 months? Up until the season starts, I should say? No. So I really don't think that's the move. I really and firmly believe Jimmy G is going to be the guy, should be the guy, and should be the only guy. I have no idea where Aaron should go. He's talking about going and taking an ayahuasca retreat. That's shrooms for people who don't know what ayahuasca is. You should get up on your psilocybins. But yeah, like that's all he's doing. So it's like he's just toying and playing around with his whole career, not even just with the Packers anymore. It's just like with other teams and what he wants to do. He doesn't even really know what he wants to do. So how are we going to commit to you for a whole year? Because you can start bitching at any point. Whole morale's down. Now what?
Yeah, I mean that's a big risk you take. I mean, I'll say this: all three are going to come with a risk. I think Rodgers has, I think, the most upside. I think his biggest risk is just like you said. He could come in and wind up being a cancer for the team, and not only that, but he might only be there for a year or two, and then that just sets them back. What are they going to do when they need the next guy, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy G is a risk because look. We've never actually seen, and Jimmy G's got 2 Super Bowl rings, but he didn't. But he didn't win either of them. Okay, so he's lost some big games, and he's proven in his time in starting in here and in San Francisco that he's an injury risk. Right, the dude gets hurt. Derek Carr. His biggest risk is that he's just a loser. I'm sorry.
Not even saying inconsistent. He said
that dude's just a loser. Like that dude will never win big games. He will never shine when the big moment's needed. He'll put up 400 or 500 yards in a couple of regular season games and make a highlight reel throw every now and then. But I just don't see him being like your Super Bowl winning answer. I don't know, man.
See, let me hear. You guys got to hear me out. So I didn't get to finish the whole thing where my mindset was going, right?
No, don't back
because what I do think, who I really think the future of the Jets is the same guy I've been saying for some time now. Is that young buck Mike White? He needs some older guy to come in that's going to be there for a few years, help him. What's going to happen? Derek Carr is going to do something stupid, get taken out in the middle of the season. Mike White's going to show up, which he's done every year. He just happens to get hurt, and he's going to end up being the guy for them. I think Mike White is the legit future. I've said that time and time again. Said it to Jets fans, even though I don't care about Jets fans. But he needs some kind of mentorship. Joe Flacco is not that guy. Who the other guy in there is the mother messer. What's his name?
The mother messer, Zach.
The
Mormon.
Freaking Zach. But he has no trust in the entire New York. They need to get him out of New York. He's going to be a backup or third string somewhere else. He needs to be gone. And I think Mike White needs to be the number 2 for at least a little bit with someone with a veteran who's actually been in some big games to teach him up. Like, I don't know.
Well, did I hear this wrong? Did I hear that Mike White already had interest from, was it like the Rams? Did I see that? or somebody.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I saw that somebody had
I didn't
expressed.
see that one yet.
I saw. I don't think anything's official, but I saw somewhere that I think it was the
Just had
Rams.
some interest, though.
Yeah, that the
That's a
Rams are
pretty
interested
big-
in bringing Mike
That's a
White
pretty
in.
big deal.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
like Mike White better than Baker Mayfield. That's for sure.
I
So.
think yeah. Why not? It might. I don't. I'm not. I'm not 100% positive, but I'm pretty sure it was the Rams. But
That's also another thing. Like if it was Matt Stafford and Mike White, Matt Stafford has been a baller. Just happened that he was on the Lions for a while.
Yeah.
And what happens when you actually had a good team? They balled out. That's even another situation that I would love.
But
Mike
they
White
also
being
had
number
to drop a bag for that team. But yeah, you're
I
definitely
get
right.
it, but
and he did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
He did have Calvin Johnson, so we can't forget that he was not just like a bum out here. And I remember watching old boy at college when he was with Georgia. A fucking great athlete, great quarterback. So
solid athlete.
it just sucks to see Baker on the decline like that. I thought he was going to be killing it in the league, and no, it just hasn't happened like that. But they're just interested in Mike White, you said?
I just think Mike White has the potential to be a legitimate quarterback in the league.
Justin, you said the Rams had potential in Mike White?
I'm pretty sure it was the Rams. They were interested in Mike White.
I'm curious, what are they going to do?
I mean, I think they look at it and they say, hey, here's a young guy who could be a good backup in case Stafford goes down. And he may be like a diamond in the rough. Like, he might be a dude that could be a viable solution once Stafford leaves. I don't know. I mean, maybe they see some. Maybe they think it's worth giving him a chance. I mean, you probably wouldn't have to give up much to get him.
You probably don't, but I mean, he's still a backup quarterback on a team that didn't even make the playoffs. You know, so it's like that's kind of interesting that they're really looking after him or trying to acquire about him. Still
Right.
cool.
Yeah. No, I'm surprised I don't even know where the Rams, like, I thought that franchise would just be so depleted by now. Like, how can they even trade or side for anybody? Like,
That's why I'm like, that's interesting that they really were going to do this for another backup quarterback. You know, not a premier wide receiver.
right.
Or a guy that's been solidified on the offense or defensive line.
Yeah. I know.
What do they got going on in L.A.?
Well, look, I guess the one thing you could argue is that if you're going to start the rebuild, you want a quarterback.
I guess, but I mean, you know, they have this thing called the draft that happens. So
I know.
Yeah.
No, I know. It'll be interesting, I think, to see what they do. I mean, what do you guys think? Let's kick it back to San Francisco for a sec, because that's a team that I think, you know, they very easily could have wound up in the Super Bowl with a healthy quarterback. You know, they could have beat the Eagles. They could have beat they could have beat the Chiefs. Like,
I could have seen that one. I would have put my whole life savings on that
that
one.
just something goes wrong for them.
I try to tell you, like, I like the fucking Saints. I mean, my fault, the Saints. I'm thinking about what's it called, Sean Payton. We'll get to that one soon. I was telling you, it was gonna be San Fran, and it was gonna be the Bengals. The Bengals got hold. We won't even talk about that. But I knew the team coming out of the NFC, if they had everything going the right way they were supposed to, because everything was lining up.
Yeah.
He got hurt in the first 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it was
Some freak
bad.
shit.
It was some freak shit. Yeah, and, I mean,
But they were right there. I had the feeling, bro. But just some freak shit happened, and the universe didn't want it for either side. But I'm still happy that we got to see the Super Bowl that we got to see. But we would have saw some more fireworks.
For sure.
I feel like.
well, I mean, so
I feel like we would have seen a lot more fireworks because you got to think about we have Debo, we have Kittle, we have.
I like
Cameron
their
in the
defense
back.
a little better too.
You see what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like, it was going to get really scary, and there was going to be a lot more points. That would have been the highest scoring Super Bowl if it was going to be San Fran Bengals.
Well, I mean, I'm curious, do you guys think that Purdy lost his chance to be the starting quarterback next year? Like,
Because he got
because
hurt?
of that? Well, I've heard people say, like, well, now it's probably going to be Trey Lance's job, or they think the 49ers should open up with Trey Lance. But you know, if Brock Purdy stays healthy, wins that game, and wins the Super Bowl, you know he's probably solidified as the starting quarterback next year.
He didn't lose a game.
I'm not. That's not my. What I'm saying.
But I'm just trying to understand.
You know, I get it.
Like, if people are always about numbers, right?
Right.
We always want to hear the numbers, look at the stats. Oh, that's how I'm going to judge it by this, and that. He was in 8 games. He didn't lose any of them until he got hurt.
I know.
You got to keep going with the hot hand. You're going with another guy that's coming off of an ACL, MCL, some ankle type shit too. Like, his whole leg is like fucked. And you're going to give him the keys to the organization again, be like, hey, bro, go out there and lead our team. By the way, don't think about your ankle, your MCL, ACL too much. Oh, and these guys got a lot faster. And since you have that injury, you kind of slow down too. It's like, bro, like, for real? You got to keep going with the hot hand. He was a team favorite, organization favorite, a league favorite. Was there anybody who wasn't saying, damn, Brock Purdy's kind of nice? He's pretty damn good. So why even put yourself in that situation? Like, I understand that Jimmy G's going to have to go. Everybody knows that. Now you have Trey and Brock. Why go back to Trey, who had that gruesome-ass injury? You got to at least see what Brock can continue to do coming back from his injury. Hey, it's going to be a lot more easier to come back from that.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, just, you got to feel it out. And then people are so quick in this league to, like, move on to the next person or go back to the person that they thought was going to be the guy. No, you have to give that guy who got a terrible injury a chance. Let him even come back 4 or 5 games into the season to see how he's been practicing. How's he been going against the pup team? You know what I mean?
I agree. I mean,
that's crazy.
Well, I part of it though I think is because I'm not a doctor, but I heard that he might not be ready to start the season next year. Like, I think it might be that extensive of an injury. It's a torn UCL, which I'm not exactly positive what that is, but
it's somewhere in the leg. I know that.
Yeah. It's his elbow, I think, or shoulder, something like that.
In the shoulder.
Yeah, it's something in his like arm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what they were talking about, the baseball injury.
Yeah.
It was like
maybe he needs the Tommy John surgery. Yeah.
That's what they were saying. Yeah. So what do you do then? Do you give it to the guy with the gimpy leg or the gimpy arm?
I mean, at that point,
I guess we go with the gimpy leg and good luck, and then that shit happens again. Jimmy, where you at, bro?
He won't be there.
I know. We're going to be like, we'll trade back for you. Come on back, bro. It's like, you see what I mean? It's an ugly situation that they got going on.
Very ugly. What do you think, Gordon? Who should start?
I mean, like, to go off that point, Jimmy G is like that 1X that you be calling once in a while. And you try to tell your boys you're really done with her. But low key, you're waiting for that one night, and then you'll come back and consistent.
Just give me
every single time. He that.
I saw your initial. I'm a caller.
I'm a call.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna wait for her to comment and be like, no, you hit me up first. All right, pull up. Let's go.
Oh man.
I mean, think about it, right? I'm pretty sure I heard this stat where Brock Purdy's like the first rookie quarterback to beat Tom Brady. I bet
on that game. I bet on that game. I remember that one. Yep.
Which is insane to me. You win so many games. You got hurt. Like, the reason why you didn't win the last game is because you got hurt in your elbow. It had nothing to do with like what your talent was and how well you were able to play. We have been talking about Trey Lance since we were in the dungeon before in HQ1, how we don't even know why they made that pick. We don't get why they were even there. Maybe he was the smartest guy in the world because he took the test really well. Find out he was average on the test, wasn't anything crazy, and then he showed up to be exactly what we thought he was. He was who we thought he was. Yeah. Come on now, like. Brock Purdy had proven himself in big games to be more than what we thought he was, and Trey Lance has had plenty of time to prove that he was less than what we thought. You know what I'm saying? So, I'd rather have my man Brock Purdy start, and then if it's late in the night, call up our boy Jimmy G because clearly he's open to anything. But we'll see what happens, man. Well, I mean,
they call Jimmy G a slut. Wow. But hey, speaking of exes, let's talk about one of the greatest to do it, and we can slow it down after this. Sean Payton is coming back to the Denver Broncos.
I know.
To revive Russell Wilson's career. And sidebar real quick. This has got my gears churning of I'm not letting Russell Wilson go until at least week 5. I have to see 5 games.
You gotta hold on to him for a little bit.
I have
mean,
to
you
just
can't,
see.
You gotta give it a chance.
Because I was ready. If they made no other coaching decision, I was so ready to give him.
Get rid of it, yeah.
I was just gonna see how many fab points or dollars I can get for him.
Yeah.
Maybe a third, fourth round pick here and there down the line. But this has got me excited. This should get Jerry Jeudy excited. He should see what Sean did with all those other motherfuckers receivers down in New Orleans. That's what I was talking about with the Saints before. Like think about those years what he did to all those players, especially Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Drew Brees was coming off the Chargers with LT. Then he had the injury. Nobody really wanted to fuck with him. Went down to New Orleans. Shit got right.
Yeah.
He just needed Sean. Sean said, I see exactly what you're capable of, and I know what you need. Now let's adjust this. Let's tweak that. Sean got hired, right? What was it, 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah.
Within 3 or 4 days, he said, "Hey, yo, Russell, your trainer guy that's always around here, your private coach, he's out of here." Russell didn't make no fight. So you know that Russell's in a point right now where he's like, damn, I got to get my shit back together. CeCe's probably still talking to Future. Little Future's at home looking at me, not calling me dad no more. You know what I'm saying? And Jerry has been blowing my phone up. Jeudy, that is. Saying, what's up, bro? What happened? We're not even going to talk about last season. What's up with this season? Let's get some routes in. Let's talk to the O-line. Let's talk to our tight ends. Let's talk to our running backs. You know what I'm saying? Because, last year was some garbage. Dog shit garbage.
Yep.
And I never thought I was going to see that out of Russell Wilson from a whole pack of Badgers.
I mean,
Russell Wilson has been falling up year over year, and people are afraid to call him trash. I've been saying he's been trash ever since they lost against the Patriots. He stinks now. It's over. He needs to go and be a mentor to somebody because the guy has a phenomenal work ethic, and he needs to teach some young boy up to take his place. He does not need to
take that soundbite. I want you to eat these words later on. I want you to really hold on to what you said.
I want this on a YouTube video, bro. He's done. It's done.
Bro.
Did you see what happened last year?
Oh, I saw it.
First off, Sean Payton loves his defense, bro. He's what's going to happen, he's going to find a nice second guy to replace Russell, and they're going to have to compete. Russell's going to win, and then he's going to do something silly because he needs the coaches to tell him what to do because he can't do it himself. Russell Wilson is the king of a quarterback, the best quarterback to not have his own opinion on the field. It's terrible, man. If he did have his own opinion, he would have ran the ball. That's what would have happened on the 1 yard line. I'm just saying. I don't know. I can't.
Gave that to Marshall.
100% should have gave that to Marshall. No, look, the one concern, I have multiple concerns.
Yeah,
but
they were about to say.
My big concern is that from everything I saw this year, on and off the field with Russell Wilson, everything I heard his former teammates saying, guys like Marshawn Lynch, guys like Richard Sherman, coming out, nobody seemed to have a good thing to say about him, right? Everybody said that this guy was
lame,
babied and coddled. He was just an absolute weenie. He got super special treatment. You hear stories from Richard Sherman about how nobody had Russ's number. If you wanted to get in contact with him, you had to hit up his agent. He's got his own special private coaching staff. I almost wonder if this dude's situation is beyond repair. Because here's the thing. You can tweak the way somebody plays. You can tweak the style of offense. You can change things. You can change game conditions, practice conditions to help a player out and get the best out of them. Right. But if the issue is just the person itself, their personality, their mentality, just the way they think and operate, if they're just too far gone, not even the best coaches can fix that. So I wonder if Russell Wilson is so far gone that he's beyond repair. I don't know.
And the reason why I say I feel like I am going to give him the 5 games is because it's something similar to what you said. We've all heard that same connotation before from his teammates, everybody like that. It's the fact that Sean got in there and within the first week of him being hired, was said, all this that you're doing right here, who are these? They're not a part of the team. Like, these are people that you hired.
Yep.
So to get yourself out of that funk that you had last year, we're going to separate you from the people that had your back. Because clearly, this was your first year here, and you weren't good. So
Not
now
good at
you're
all.
really going to listen to our advice, our coaching tips, how we need things, not how we want things to be done, how we need things to be done. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because this is a winning league, and you got to look at the division that they're in, too. They're still in the division with the Super Bowl champs.
Correct. Yeah.
They're still in a division where they have, we don't know who the quarterback is, but they still have Devontae Adams
Yeah.
they have to go against. And then you still have Justin Herbert. You see, like, this is the time and the place and the effort and energy that Sean Payton needed to do to be like, you know what? I don't care what he really likes or what he had before. We got to compete with these guys.
And I love that he came out and said that to the media. Like, it wasn't something that, like, they handle behind closed doors. Like, the media on day one where he came in was like, hey, so what do you think of Russell Wilson's, like, private coach? Like, and asked them the expectations. He just straight up was like, well, I haven't really heard much about it or talked to Russell about it, but that won't fly here. Like, he just came out publicly. He didn't even wait to
You see
to
day
say,
one type of stuff, like how,
Yeah.
like, we saw what you did last year, and maybe if you got your team to an even record, or even got them to the playoffs somehow, I'll give you a little leeway.
Right.
That's what Sean Payton was probably going to say. I'll give you a little leeway. Let's see what this is going to happen with, because you had this guy. Nothing shook. You didn't give it to the best wide receiver on the team.
Right.
You didn't run the ball when you needed to run the ball, and we've seen it. You're capable of doing that. So we're going to get you out of your own head because of these people that you have around you are not for you.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited to see how this
No,
season goes for real.
I'm excited. I mean, can you guys think of I mean the Rams a few years ago, you know, with Matt Stafford when they basically mortgaged their whole future to bring everybody in and keep
paid off,
re-sign everybody and it paid off, right? But like if you think about what the Broncos did, they gave up some young talent on both sides of the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guys like Noah Fant, guys like was it Shelby Jackson? Shelby Jackson.
Yep.
You gave up a bunch of draft capital, multiple first-round picks, second, third-round picks in currently and into the future. You signed Russell to a big money contract.
Locked in.
Right? A lot of guaranteed money there. Then you trade a first-round pick for Sean Payton, and you sign him to a big deal. You have essentially put all of your eggs in this basket. There is no safety valve. There is no break glass in case of emergency. There's almost nothing else you can do. You aren't going to be able to sign other people long term. You aren't going to have the draft capital to bring in new guys. Has there been a franchise with more pressure on them right now than the Denver Broncos?
This is it. And
This
it's
is it.
exactly what I was saying, bro.
Yeah.
You're in a division that just had a Super Bowl winning champ. And this dude's going to be in the division for 10 years.
Yeah.
He's already doing shit that you were supposed to be doing at the beginning of your career, Russell.
Yeah.
And it's only legit going up from here with him.
Yeah.
You were that guy. You almost got to that Super Bowl that one time against that awesome team. But you didn't pull the trigger and we didn't get to where you needed to be.
Right.
So now we got to do this right now.
Right.
They have to. It's a do or die. Not even a do or die. It's a do. Because if you don't do it, then it's just going to be like you guys just fucked yourself for another 10 years, and now you got to watch this guy win probably 5 more and reach Brady type level.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say about it.
No. Yeah. G. Any thoughts?
No, man. I don't expect much to change. I hope that if Sean Payton, when he gets there, he has the right coaching staff around him. But it really depends on their success. Depends on how well they work together. I don't think Russell's good, but if Sean Payton, like Steve says, can make him into a good quarterback again, they could have a nice program. If not, it could easily go downhill. Because, like you said, they don't have any safety net. what happens if they don't get along and Russ says, no, this is how we're doing it, and Sean Payton says, no, this is not how we're doing it, then they alone will self-destruct that team and will be unsuccessful. That's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that they're going to be able to do is, I mean, they have some good young talent that they've gotten in the draft, right? They got Justin Simmons and what's the other cornerback's name? The other shutdown corner that was a rookie this year.
I don't even know Justin. That's my boy, 31.
Yeah. No, I don't know why I'm forgetting his name. First round pick, but he was lockdown this year. Anyway, they have some players like that they're clinging on to. They're gonna have to get rid of them soon if this goes downhill really quickly. Any other final thoughts? Anything like from any around the sports world? Any other or anything really before we wrap it up?
I want to know who this guy is.
I will say one thing. I mean, because I know I got to rip in like 2 minutes, but
yeah.
I don't know if you guys watched the Celtics game last night. How about the bench?
Yeah.
The Celtics bench. The entire none of this big three was in there. The Celtics bench took the Milwaukee Bucks into overtime. Giannis, Chris Middleton, True Holiday, all of them were starting, and they took them to overtime and lost by 3.
Yeah.
The only reason why they lost is because those big guys that were handling the ball should not be guys handling the ball with the last minutes of the game. Like, why is Grant Williams trying to dribble past somebody with the last minute of the game? Like, there's little things, but like all phenomenal players, but clearly, if Jason Tatum had the ball at that last minute, if Jaylen Brown had the ball at that last minute, hell, Marcus Smart, it would have been handled a lot better, and we would have beat him. I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking because
say it. What? Say it.
No. I can't say it because I'm not trying to curse my team because clearly the Eagles happened and we lost. And every team that I get too far behind ended up losing at the end. So I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking, but it goes back to what I was saying a couple of shows ago, that this Celtics might be one of my favorite Celtics, depth-wise, personality-wise, scoring-wise, rebounding-wise, defensively. If we see this back, I'm not going to say the words. We keep going what we're doing.
You know what? One thing that I will have to give this Celtics team, the way it's constructed, if they are successful and win a championship.
Let's see it.
This is and look, I'm still partial to the 07-08 team almost in every aspect. But here's the one thing I can say about this team. This is like a almost, not completely, but majority homegrown Celtics team, right? Like this is a lot of dudes that we drafted, that we developed in Boston. I mean, you look at our big three alone, Jalen, Jason, and Marcus, like drafted by the Boston Celtics, right?
Yep.
You got some key role players, guys like Grant Williams, guys that were drafted, Robert Williams, guys that were drafted by the Boston Celtics, right? Whereas, like, the 07-08 team was like that first super team that brought, you had Paul Pierce, but you brought in a bunch of players around him.
We needed them.
Right? We did. No, we did.
Yeah, we
and
needed them.
Trey, I love that team, and I'm so glad we did it. But the thing I will say is that it's very cool seeing the Celtics do almost like what the Warriors did. And this is why I like the Warriors so much during their heyday, because it was all homegrown players, all drafted players. You see in a team, in a league full of super teams, a team that did it through the draft. It felt good to see that. So it feels good to see the Celtics team kind of claw their way.
As they would say, they did it the right way.
The right way.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I definitely understand that phrase and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not swaying back from what I said the last time we were on here. Unless this team can actually do it and get to the mountaintop, this won't be my favorite team until I see the actual film of beating whoever's in the West.
Yeah.
That's the only way that I can actually put that team above 07-08 because, like you said, it's homegrown. It's like, we've seen all these guys come up.
Right.
We've actually seen most of them play in college. Right. So it's like, this is dope to actually see. But until that actually happens, until they can beat the Warriors in the same type of situation, or whoever, like I said, whoever's coming out the West, it's up from there,
Yeah.
Pat Surtain is the guy. Pat Surtain from Alabama.
Pat Surtain.
Should have fucking know that.
So what were you saying, Gordon?
I'm just saying, like, kind of my last point on it, but it was just like, it goes back to, just like this Super Bowl was, experienced Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes versus a young Eagles with Jalen Hurts. Last year with the Celtics was a young Celtics who finally made it there versus a very experienced Golden State Warriors. And yeah, the Celtics had a lot of the talent, but the experience, they were able to get in our young minds, and we crumbled. We crumbled. And I think they took that to heart, and that's why they stepped it up so heavy this year. And that's why I think we have a lot of potentials for success as a team in the long run. Experience, the grit, and it's just, whew. I mean, your bench players are scoring 20 points a game, and they're hitting game-winning shots. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I'm excited to see how this season goes, and I'm really excited to see the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Actually,
when your head coach is in his first year, the youngest head coach, and he gets to be the coach for the All-Star game.
Yeah. He's the head coach for the All-Star game.
Sure, he's All-Star. Come on.
That's really dope.
No, I like Missoula. I think he's
Yeah,
he's good. He's good for the program.
He knows how to keep them fresh, actually.
Yeah.
A lot better than I thought he was going to be able to manage them.
Right.
Right.
All right. Well, I think that's gonna be a wrap. Gordon, I know you got to run, get some buckets in your men's league. Other than that, don't go down SKJ Pine. We'll see you guys next week in the trenches. Take it easy.
Peace.
Later. Hey.